What if the next world war doesn't start with a nuclear launch, but with the quiet takeoff of a jet you'll never see coming? The United States, Russia, China, three superpowers, each building a ghost, a bomber designed not just to fly but to vanish. They're fast, silent, deadly, and they carry the power to end a city in minutes. This isn't science fiction, it's real. It's happening right now. And by the time the world hears them, it might be too late. This is the new arms race, fought not with numbers, but with invisibility, intelligence, and unstoppable reach. Meet the B-21 Raider, the Russian PAC-DA, and China's secretive H-20. Three machines, one battlefield, the skies of the future. Let's find out who will rule them. It looks like a UFO, it flies like a shadow, and it might just be the most advanced war machine ever created by mankind. This is the B-21 Raider, the United States' brand new stealth bomber. Not a concept, not a prototype, a real operational aircraft already preparing to enter service. Built by Northrop Grumman under a veil of extreme secrecy, the B-21 is more than a bomber. It's the first true sixth-generation aircraft, designed for one purpose: to dominate the skies of tomorrow. Unlike anything before it, the Raider was developed using entirely digital engineering. Every system, surface and screw has been simulated, tested and optimized before the first metal was even cut. This means faster production, easier upgrades, and a level of adaptability that's unheard of in modern aviation. At its core, the B-21 is a stealth platform, but not just radar stealth. It's designed to evade infrared sensors, electromagnetic tracking, and even visual detection. Its body is coated in radar-absorbent materials. Its shape bends and breaks radio waves. From the right angle, it's as if it isn't there at all. But here's the real game changer. It's built to be modular. The B-21 isn't locked into one role. It can carry nuclear weapons, conventional precision-guided bombs, hypersonic missiles, or even electronic warfare payloads. All of this can be swapped, upgraded, or customized on the fly. And then there's its brain. The Raider is integrated into the US military's emerging digital kill chain, a connected web of satellites, drones, sensors, and AI command systems. It doesn't just drop bombs. It talks, it learns, it adapts. It can command drone swarms, evade threats autonomously, and sync with other assets across the globe in real time. Even more terrifying, the B-21 is optionally manned, which means in the future it could operate completely unmanned, controlled by AI or a remote pilot. Imagine a bomber with no human on board, flying into the most dangerous airspace on Earth undetected and striking with surgical precision. And while its full specs are classified, we know this. It's built to fly over 10,000 kilometers, refuel in air, and deliver a payload powerful enough to wipe out a heavily defended target without ever being detected. Costing roughly $700 million per unit, the US Air Force has already committed to buying at least 100 Raiders. But unofficial sources suggest the final number could be far higher. So why build a stealth bomber in the age of satellites, drones, and hypersonic missiles? Because the B-21 can do what no missile can. It can think, it can adapt, and it can strike from anywhere, at any time, without warning. In a future where every nation is racing to dominate the digital battlefield, the B-21 Raider stands not just as a weapon, but as a warning. By the time you know it's there, it's already too late. If the B-21 is a ghost, Russia's approach is more like a thunderclap, loud, fast, and meant to shake the earth. Meet the Tu-160M. NATO calls it the Blackjack, but Russia prefers White Swan. It's the largest and fastest strategic bomber in the world, a Cold War legend reborn for the 21st century. With variable sweep wings, 4 roaring afterburning engines, and a top speed over Mach 2, the Tu-160M isn't built to hide, it's built to outrun and outgun. The upgraded M version brings modern avionics, enhanced radar systems, improved stealth coating, and compatibility with next-gen cruise and hypersonic missiles, including the K-201 and H-47M2 Kinzhal. This bomber can fly over 12,000 kilometers without refueling, carry 40 tons of payload, and deliver nuclear or conventional strikes across continents. And despite its size, it can launch missiles from thousands of kilometers away, never even entering enemy airspace. It doesn't need to sneak in, it just stands at the edge and knocks. But the real intrigue lies not in what's flying now, but in what's coming next. The PAK-DA. Russia's next-generation stealth bomber is one of the most secretive military projects on the planet. Little is confirmed, but what we do know is enough to raise eyebrows. PAK-DA stands for Prospective Aviation Complex for Long-Range Aviation. It's designed to be subsonic, stealthy, and built from the ground up to evade modern air defences. It's expected to carry nuclear and conventional weapons, have global reach, and incorporate electronic warfare systems to jam, blind, and confuse enemy sensors. Unlike the Tu-160's brute force approach, PAK-DA will be quiet, low observable, and tactical, a direct rival to the US B-21. Satellite images hint at testing underway. Russian sources suggest the first flight could happen in the late 2020s, though delays are almost certain. What's clear is this. While the Tu-160M represents Russia's military tradition of overwhelming power, the PAK-DA shows that Moscow is also thinking about the future and preparing for a world where stealth, precision, and electronic dominance are just as critical as speed and size. Together, the White Swan and the future PAK-DA create a dual strategy, one built on both legacy and evolution. One delivers a shockwave, the other a whisper. In the chessboard of strategic aviation, Russia is playing two pieces at once, and both can reach the king. No one has seen it fly, no official photos, no confirmed footage, and yet it might be the most important bomber of the 21st century. This is the Xi'an H-20, China's answer to America's B-21 and Russia's PAK-DA. A shadow project, developed in silence, under layers of state secrecy and digital smokescreens. We don't know exactly what it looks like, but we know what it's meant to do. Break the American perimeter in the Pacific and bring the fight to Guam, Hawaii, even the US mainland. According to Chinese military sources, the H-20 will be a long-range subsonic stealth bomber capable of carrying nuclear and conventional payloads. With a combat radius of over 5,000 miles, it would allow China, for the first time, to project strategic air power far beyond its borders. Its design is rumoured to borrow heavily from the B-2 Spirit, featuring a flying wing configuration, radar-absorbing materials, and internal weapons bays. It's built not for speed, but for silence. And silence, in this case, is more than just stealth, it's strategy. The H-20 is the missing piece in China's nuclear triad, alongside land-based missiles and ballistic missile submarines. Once operational, it gives Beijing a credible second strike capability, and that changes everything. It's not just about bombing, it's about balance, deterrence, global reach, and psychological pressure. The Chinese government has kept this project tightly under wraps. Occasional leaks, concept art, and blurred satellite images are all we've had to go on. But Western intelligence believes prototypes may already exist, and some analysts think the first test flight could happen any day now. If true, this would mark a major leap in China's ability to compete with US and Russian long-range aviation. And more importantly, it would signal Beijing's readiness to operate on equal footing in strategic nuclear deterrence. Unlike the Tu-160 or even the B-2, the H-20 is a message. A message from a rising superpower that it will not be outflanked, outgunned, or outranged. In a conflict scenario, the H-20 could strike carrier groups, radar installations, forward bases, and then disappear back into the shadows of deep airspace. And that's what makes it dangerous. Not because we know what it can do, but because we don't. It's quiet, it's patient, and it's coming. 3 bombers, 3 nations, 1 sky. Let's break it down. First, range. The Russian Tu-160M leads with over 12,000 kilometers. The B-21 Raider follows with a projected 10,000 plus. The H-20, estimated between 8,000 and 9,000, still enough to reach the Pacific and beyond. Next, speed. Only one bomber here goes supersonic, the Tu-160M blasting past Mach 2. The B-21 and H-20, both subsonic, prioritizing stealth over raw velocity. And stealth, that's where it gets serious. The B-21 is cutting edge, built to vanish across radar, infrared, and electronic spectrums. The H-20 reportedly mirrors that design, a flying wing with radar-absorbent materials. PAC-DA promises similar stealth, but it remains mostly on paper. What about payload? Tu-160M, up to 40 tons, a nuclear-capable beast. The B-21's payload is classified, but experts estimate up to 25 tons. The H-20 is expected to carry about 20. But here's the game changer: battlefield intelligence. The B-21 is designed for full integration into the US digital kill chain, syncing with drones, satellites, even other jets. It's a flying command node. The H-20 and PAC-DA? Still unknown. They might carry heavy weapons, but will they think fast enough? And one last twist. The B-21 may fly unmanned in the future. No other bomber here can say that. So who wins? Russia brings brute power. China brings quiet ambition. But the US brings a ghost, invisible, intelligent, and already airborne. This isn't just about flying, it's about surviving. And in the skies of the future, the last one seen is the one who strikes first. So, who will rule the skies of 2035? Will it be the US, with its sleek AI-driven ghost bomber, the B-21 Raider, already in the air, already rewriting the rules of strategic aviation? Will it be Russia, reviving Cold War power through the massive Tu-160M, while quietly preparing its next generation stealth shadow, the PAC-DA? Or will it be China, the silent player, crafting a bomber we've barely seen, but one built for reach, readiness, and revolution? Each of these aircraft is more than a machine. It's a message, a projection of power, a symbol of how each nation sees the next war and how they plan to win it. The B-21 is about invisibility and control, a networked ghost that strikes first and vanishes. The Tu-160M is about overwhelming force, speed, weight, and legacy wrapped into a modern missile carrier. The H-20? It's about breaking limits, about turning China from a regional power into a global one. But here's the truth: we may never see these bombers in combat, because their real power lies in what they prevent, not what they destroy. They are guardians of balance, symbols of escalation, and reminders that in the world of high-stakes strategy, silence is often louder than sound. So maybe the real winner isn't the one with the fastest jet or the biggest payload. Maybe it's the one who makes the world too afraid to ever test them.